Jimi Disu.
On 99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Morning, everybody. You're welcome to the Daily Digest. Today's Tuesday. Is the first day, of the Daily Digest week. All of you know tomorrow is Wednesday, and that means tomorrow is Diabomi Day. And I have by popular request, Sassy Queen. You remember that fine lady that was here about 2 months ago? She'll be here tomorrow, okay? And we'll have a rollicking time with her on Diabomi. And next week we'll have Chinedu. Chinedu will be back. Also, a quick one, Chinedu and I, we had this program we were trying to put together about who you are and so on and so forth. We have contacted the two people. We'll probably bring them sometime next week for them to talk to you and see how far we have gone with that project. Now, on Friday, I'm going to bring as my guest, Pastor Itwa Igodalo. It's going to be 5 years that he lost his beloved wife. So I'm going to have to talk to Itwa and find out from him. I would have had him on Saturday, actually, but there's a program going on Saturday in memory of Dear Ibedon. And so Friday will be for Itwa Igodalo will be here. Today, I am doing a Parakwa affair, and you can accuse me of nepotism. I don't care. I don't care if anybody around me feels that, how can you be talking about your own people? They can do whatever they like. If they like, the person around me, if he likes and he doesn't like what I'm saying, can seize the layer that he brought for me. I will drink my gari without it. I'd like to welcome back to Lagos State Mr. Sheriff Quadri, who went to kill some rams, and of course I brought some ram for me to eat. Okay, Sheriff, you're welcome. I have two. We're going to talk about Corona School. That's the school I went to, and I'm proud to say so. It's primary school I went to, and you can put your noses in the air. That's the school I went to. I know the school I went to. I went to Corona. I can list my classmates. One of the Oshibadjo brothers was my classmate, but Yemi was also Jebi. We called Jebi was also there. I have loads of my class. Tewa Sholanke, Demarison, Tommy Davis, a whole lot of them. We were in Corona together. But I'm not going to talk about Corona today by myself. I have two people. I have Mrs. Nike Dennis, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Nike Dennis. She was in Corona Yaba, okay. And I have Mrs. Shola Lamotu, who, a.k.a. Green Queen, what's that?
Yes. I'm popularly known as the Green Queen because the work I do on the environment and promotion.
Oh, okay. Right. Corona is 70. That's why we're here. And the celebration is going on. I think the dinner is on Saturday.
That's right. Saturday, 14th of June.
14th of June. Unfortunately, I can't make it because I have a commitment. A man, when it comes to this world, has his natural father, and then he has various godfathers that are close to him. The man who is standing in place for my dad, because my dad is long dead, Samamuka, is going to be 90 on Friday. Oh, when is the anniversary?
It's a Saturday.
Oh, so I must still make it that.
Ooh,
that's good.
lovely.
Yes, because the anniversary is on Friday. Yeah, very good. Samamuka is going to be 90 on Friday, and there's going to be a reception for him by invitation only, Neil. Yeah. Okay, so that's beautiful. Corona. Which Corona were you?
Corona School, Ikoyi.
And what year did you leave?
74. I actually started with the day nursery. That was the first. The first of all the schools.
Yes.
Was Corona Day Nursery. We used to call it Corona Creche then. On 35,
where is this?
35 First Avenue, and it's still there till today.
What year was the Corona Creche?
Corona Creche started in 1955.
Okay. So Corona Ikoyi started in 1955, or the whole Corona?
No, the whole Corona started with Corona Creche in 1955.
Yes.
At First Avenue.
Mm.
Then we went to Ebute Metta. Then we went to Yaba. Then we went to
Wait,
Grenada.
is it the one in Ikoyi that went to Ebute Metta?
No.
They went in Ikoyi, stayed in Ikoyi, but the primary school started in Ebute Metta.
In Ebute Metta. That's where I started.
That's your own.
That's our own. It is important, correct me if I'm wrong, to let people understand that Corona is not owned in that sense by anybody.
No, it's not. That's the beauty of it.
That's
it's
the
owned
beauty
by
of it.
was started by the Corona Women's Society. And right now it's being run by the Corona Schools Trust Council.
So every penny that is being made in Corona goes back into the project.
Exactly.
Yes.
You're not paying any dividends or anything.
No.
That's very interesting. Madam, you went to Corona, which one now?
Corona Yaba.
Corona Yaba.
Yes.
Which one is that?
It started in Ebute Metta.
Yes.
From Ebute Metta, they moved to the military hospital compound.
Yes.
From there, because of the Civil War, if you recall, there was a Civil War in 1967 that affected a lot of things, including that school, which had to close down for like a few months or something. And then from there, they relocated to Habat Macaulay in Yaba. So Corona Ebute Metta was the first primary school, as Miss GQ said. And from then on, they've moved to like 3 locations. Military hospital,
Yaba.
Ebute Metta to military to Habat Macaulay.
Yeah.
Corona Yaba is known as the transit school for that reason. It's a very funny nickname. And why is that? Because we have moved and relocated at least a few times. And because of that, some, like you just mentioned, graduated and left Ebute Metta. Some graduated and left perhaps the military hospital.
Yes.
And most of us, like my set in 74, left Habat Macaulay before they finally moved to what they call their sanctuary in Bagada.
I like that.
So thank God you now have a resting place.
We now have a resting place.
Not to die,
no,
but to keep alive.
To enjoy.
I started in Ebute Metta. Then we moved to the military compound, where the famous battle. I don't know if you heard about the War of the Roses took place. There's a gentleman called Bode Kanrowi. Today he's a doctor. I'm sure he's a very senior doctor. There's a scar on his head. If his wife is lying down next to him, she could check his head. That scar should still be there.
Oh, I'm going to check it. I saw him a few days ago, actually.
Yes, I tell him there's a scar on his head. Okay. I remember when I was in Unilag and he was in Medilag and somebody said, that is Bode Kanrowi. The first thing I did was to use my cigarette lighter then to check the scar on his head. It was there.
He was still there.
How did he get that? We were trying to replicate some War of the Roses that took place in 18-something. So we had this brand idea that we wanted to reenact it. And I think Tommy Davis played a prominent role, Tewo Solanke, Claudio Sephium, Edem Harrison, Yinka Gbaja, who's a retired judge, all took part in the War of Roses. And the casualty that stopped it all was when blood came out from the
my goodness.
head.
Children will be children.
Children will be children. Corona has done quite well, and even if I say so myself. And just like you said, because it's not owned by anybody,
yes,
I'm sure all those who started Corona are dead. They must, if I'm 70 and I'm just a student, then they must be all gone. But I wonder what Corona means. Do you know?
No, I don't.
Have you ever tried to find out?
We've heard different things. Apparently it has to do with some crown, some like a halo.
Okay.
You know that there's that logo. Is that of a halo? I have the logo here.
But it's interesting. It was started by British ladies, weren't they?
Yes, it was actually started by a group of ladies, the British, Irish, and Nigerians. These were mothers who were wives of expatriates.
Yes.
Who wanted just a school that had that well-rounded curriculum for their children. So they started, I think, with like 5 pupils at the time, at the day nursery. By the end of the year, they had grown to 20. And then they moved to Ebute Metta. started with 20 or 28 children. By
I'm
the
sure
end
it
of the
was
year,
on,
they
yes.
had moved. They
What
had
year was
increased
that? When they moved to a better meta was when?
I think it was around 1956, just after.
I remember, what I remember vividly is that I was in Corona when independence was celebrated in 1960, because we were given a cup. We were given a kind of brown cup with the Nigerian flag, and in my class then was a son of the then Prime Minister Tafawa Balewa, who later we attended a party in State House. And we were given a gun with a gun. No, those days were cowboys and Indians and things like that. And we were given guns to play around with, not real guns,
No,
I mean toy guns,
which
was the in thing for parties then. And I also remember that I was in school with the daughter of Agoye Ironsi.
Oh.
Yes, Agoye Ironsi. And so I remember I was in Corona, the 59, that transition to independence. What I also remember is that I don't remember having had a Nigerian teacher.
Yes.
Almost all my teachers were British, and
British
then
or European.
the only dark skinned person then was a Jamaican, I think, way back then. And so what I also remember very well is the emphasis on good behavior. I remember, God bless Mrs. Griffin. There was a Mrs. Griffin, there was a Mrs. George, and I think there was a Mrs. Abili.
George
Yes.
and Abili,
Who came to,
yes.
yes. And
she came to Ikoyi.
she came to Ikoyi.
Mrs. George was our headmistress in Yaba.
When you were
for
there.
many
The one
years,
before
yes.
then was Mrs. Griffin. One thing all of them would say is, as soon as you start saying something, tell me, look me in the eye. Jimmy, look up and look me in the eye. And I think to a large extent also with home training, that is why it's very difficult for some of us now to look people in the eye and tell them, and in the course of my job, that's why I'm not known to be nice about telling the truth. I say it as it is.
Yes.
And I think people need to learn from that. Also, one thing we need to stress now is that Corona is how many schools now? You have Bagada. We forgot Corona, Papa.
Yes, it's there.
Yes.
So it started, just to give you a brief history. We have the day nursery, which was the first Corona.
Yes.
And then from there is the Ebute Beta, which moved to Yaba, and then finally Bagada.
Yes.
Even though we moved, we are one school. It's still one
school, yes.
With a rich history, of course. So you have day nursery. Day nursery now have a primary school, so it's one school as well. So that's Corona Ikoyi. After Yaba was Apapa.
Apapa, yes.
Surprisingly, yes, it was Apapa. And if you think there were a lot of white teachers back then, you should see Apapa's pictures. The students were almost 80% white students. In
we had
Apapa.
some families there. You have, I know Sumbola. I don't know her maiden name.
Okay.
Sumbola was the first ones were there. I think almost the whole. There were 8 girls.
Yes,
almost
we
8
had-
girls. All the
It
8
was a
girls went.
sibling school.
Sibling
really.
school, yes.
Because if you went there, all your siblings
All
attended
the siblings
that
were
we
there,
like
yes.
it.
I think the first ones. No, it wouldn't be all 8, but I think the first 4.
The first 4, maybe,
4,
yes.
so, yes.
Like it.
For most of us, all my siblings went to Corona Yaba.
Yes.
The youngest went through Yaba.
Who are your
Bagada.
classmates that you remember?
Oh, my classmates back then. Let's start with Kemi Adeyinka, now Kemi Ashiru.
Yes.
Funto Megbokpe Egun, who was the CEO of Corona Trust Council for many years.
Really?
Yes. So she was one of them. And then, of course, we have Dr. Kweku Tando, who is into sports, had something to do with sports, Lagos State many years back. We have Dokun Oyenuga, who was the architect that actually helped with designing one of the
Okay, we don't want you to
schools.
list the whole class.
So we have many. We have many.
but I tell you this, why I am so proud to identify with Corona is what Corona has done to me and my friends alike. The people that I grew up with, you can see in public office, you can see Oshibajo and see his profile.
Yeah.
Many people tend to believe that Corona was just a rich man's school. My parents were not rich. Okay, my late dad was a lawyer. He joined the civil service later. They were not rich. I grew up in Yaba. In fact, that's why you had Corona Yaba. Claudius was living somewhere in Yaba, Macaulay. Tommy, of course, was living opposite the famous... what's that famous Amala spot in Yaba now? White House. I think they call it White House.
Yes, White House.
Famous. It's still there as we speak.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't necessarily a school for the rich. I know the school fees was pretty steep a bit, but that was that. But it wasn't necessarily.
Most of our parents were civil servants.
They were civil servants.
They were civil servants.
People don't understand. I tell people, the Ikoyi people, their parents were not rich. When I was young, about 80%, in fact 85% of those living in Ikoyi were living there as quarters. When their parents retired, some of them found themselves in Ipaja.
Yeah, very right.
Some of them found themselves in Mushin.
Yeah.
Yes. People, it's good that we know history, so you don't think that everybody was in Ikoyi. And they tend to say it was an Adebota school. Not really. British, yes. British curriculum. Maybe, we had 5 times instead of 3. And stuff like that. Okay.
When you heard British, you already
think that. But I think I'm glad that is changing. That is changing. But I'm quite proud of my origins. I wouldn't have wanted
Talking
it better.
about people who started Corona School, one of the founders was Mrs. Nora Majekodumi.
Yes.
Desmond Majekodumi?
Yes, Desmond, yes.
That's his mom.
It's his mom?
Yes. So like you said, if Uncle Desmond is 72 or thereabouts.
Yes.
So of course his mom and all of them have passed
Which
out.
of the Coronas did Desmond go?
He went to Ikoyi, of course.
Ikoyi, of course. These Ikoyi people. And let me take a short break. I need to take a breather from all this. We are going to take a short break. When we come back, I'll take some of your calls and you can join us in this nice discussion going back in time. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Of what you hear and when to listen.
All at your convenience.
It's there on our mobile app and website.
Download the mobile app on iOS and Play Store or visit www.nigeriainfo.fm.
99.3. Let's talk.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Every day when my children return from school, I don't recognize them. Hello? Do I know you?
It's us, Mommy.
But these dirty, sweaty uniforms and socks, we're clean in the morning. Everything don't transform. I understand though. School is hectic. It takes energy to come home this transformed. So I make sure they have some nutritious Milo at breakfast.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo. I don't know, man. These days, all you hear is save, invest, save, invest. Wait, how do you guys find this money? Is it not someone that is settled that will have money to save and invest? And even if I manage to invest or save, the interest rates are so low. And one can lose money in all these crypto, NFT, blockchain, and so on.
Introducing Fund 724. It's a simple solution to all your money goals. With as low as 1,000 Naira or that urgent 2K in your pocket, you can start saving with Fund 724 and earn solid returns on your investment. And you can withdraw your money from your account for free. Anytime you like, just dial *724# on your mobile phone and follow the prompts.
Oh, so no need to download an app or join a long queue.
Dial *724# now to get started. Fund 724 is available 24/7. Guarantee Trust Fund Managers is a subsidiary of Guarantee Trust Holding Company PLC and regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission.
Take control of your future with Nile Online. Learn on your terms anytime, anywhere, from the comfort of your home, at work, or on the go. With courses like Executive MBA and Digital Marketing, your path to success is just a click away. Join Nile Online and shape your tomorrow. To apply, visit nileonline.com.ng or call 0707 147 4242.
Hey, rewards don't land. When I buy airtime and data on any network,
I get up to 10% cash back.
I pay my NEPA, DSTV, or StarTimes and call
3% cash back.
Now so, Smart Cash back don't get reloaded.
And they load my wallet.
Hey, it's the Smart Cash back reloaded. Top up airtime or data on any network and get up to 10% cash back. Or pay your electricity or cable TV bill and get 3% cash back sharply. Only on Smart Cash. No dull yourself. Download the Smart Cash app or dial *939# to start today. Terms and conditions, Deja.
He done of trading himself. James, hello.
Susan, I beg. Say you the wine me.
For where? You who no longer depend solely on your salary.
So you people trade and don't carry us along in this office, Abby?
Jerry, now you they talk like this? Who doesn't want an extra stream of income? But I'm still looking for better trading conditions, I beg. Fast execution of my trades and possibly an account where swap no go carry all my profits where I don't know.
Guy, HFM.com.
For me, I wouldn't mind better spreads at all, and it won't be a bad idea to be able to make withdrawals in a flash.
All we want is transparency and great customer service.
Guys, I said HFM.com.
Which one is HFM.com again?
Switch to HFM today to enjoy ultra-fast execution, 1 to 2,000 leverage, tight spreads, swap-free, and more.
Guy, show us the way now.
Wait, are you sure deposits and withdrawals are sharp?
I said
HFM.com.
Visit www.hfm.com. HFM, online trading at its finest.
Did you know you can post your job vacancies on Jobberman for free?
Free? Really?
Yes! Through the Young Nigeria Works initiative, in partnership with Jobberman and the MasterCard Foundation, you can list jobs at zero cost.
And reach over 3 million job seekers?
Absolutely! Plus, you get smart tools to manage applicants and boost your brand.
Visit www.jobberman.com/employer/free-listing to post jobs for free today.
Hire right with Jobberman.
This taste na banger, this taste na creamy rich, this taste na new Nescafe, original 3-in-1. Thickness, enjoyment, yumminess, happiness, delightfulness, deliciousness, smoothness. This taste na new Nescafe, original 3-in-1.
Enjoy more creamy richness with the new Nescafe original 3-in-1 in the new pack. That's strong, finish strong.
Success is like a big mansion. You only see the magnificent edifice, not the strong foundation that holds it. Likewise, in the world of e-payments, you only see transactions done and funds remitted. But who pioneered these financial technology solutions? Well, you knew it as Value Card, now Unified Payments, Nigeria's premier financial technology service provider. Yes, it starts here. Find out more at www.up-ng.com.
Unified Payments, unifying businesses for people.
This is not just a debate. It's a battle of minds. A clash of brilliance. A war of words. And only one champion. One true champion will rise. From the heart of the capital, Abuja.
We live in a world where 735 million people suffer from hunger, a crisis fueled by climate.
From the oil city, Port Harcourt.
You see, we lost time to focus on short-term gains, like how to appease voters before the next election.
From the city that never sleeps, Lagos.
Who is the right leader? The proposition might say someone who is bold and decisive, but I oppose this belief.
The regional champions are ready. The stage is set. The stakes higher than ever before. Who will outthink? Who will outwit? Who will dare to differ? Catch the I Beg to Differ National Finals live on all Nigeria Info FM and Kids FM stations nationwide. It's intellect, it's passion, it's the future in action. Debate redefined. The IBTD National Tournament begins August 4th, 2025, only on Nigeria Info FM and Kids FM nationwide. For sponsorship, call 0805-581-5844 or email ibegtodiffer@nigeriainfo.fm. I beg to differ, the Tournament of Champions.
.3 Nigeria Info, your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
You're listening to Jimi Disu right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Right, you're welcome back to the Daily Digest with Jimi Disu, and today I have two old students of Corona School as my guests. Miss Shola Alamutu, that makes you happy?
You're very happy.
Mama said we're available on the soft one now. Tell us. Because you kept stressing that I should say Miss. So if you're available, let us know. We run the social service.
You want to announce it? You want
to announce it? Yes. Let me call somebody to call. Sheriff, call me Danny, the matchmaker. Let's get
match.
All right. So we have Mr. of Dan. Then we have, I don't know whether this is Mrs. Mrs. Nike. Well, but what was your surname? Ogumokun when you were in school.
Ogumokun.
Yes. And I have a message from an old student of Corona, Fifi. Fifi is my very good friend. She's a media person. And she says, good morning, fellow Corona. I attended Corona Papa. Nice. I started from the Corona class in the Papa, who was located in Dockyard. In my last year, senior two, my father decided I knew and spoke too much grammar with little numeracy skills. I was woeful in arithmetic. Wow. It happened to me too. I scored almost about 90. That's why I didn't end up in Igbobi College. And that's why I want to behead every Igbobi College student in sight until their late president, out of, just so that I'll leave them alone, he gave me the full paraphernalia. Said, Egbelofutimi, so that he'll be happy. What made it more painful was that the interview we did at that time, you spent 3 days in the college. So I'd seen myself as, but in arithmetic, I think I got 5 or something like that. And in English, I got about 90. But Olatubo also said, no way, he wasn't going to. So imagine if every school had said they wouldn't take me. I'd have still been selling gala. I'd still been Corona. Yeah, so we had that. And it's amazing because a lot of us had that. There was a lot of focus on the arts, you know.
Oh, yes.
Did any of you take play in the famous play Hiawatha, one Indian play? You didn't take part in
I think what happened is that each school actually had their own
No, but there was
play.
Hiawatha in our time across the board. Okay.
Because some people did Annie, some people did different
things.
Yes,
okay.
Different schools.
So back to Fifi's story. And she said he met some professor on an international flight who sold the idea of staff school to him. That's what saved Fifi. He painted such a beautiful idea of the school. We were all taken in. So my siblings and I were carted off to staff school.
Wow.
We were the foundation pupils. So I spent 1 year there, and Bodekan Rui was my classmate. How did I not know Fifi if Bodekan Rui was her classmate? Fifi, I'm sure. So at that time, Bode's mother was the headmistress. Oh, maybe I'd left. But okay. Yes, I've seen Bode's car. She confirms that it's car. Okay. I didn't know the story behind it, though.
So now
you've been an Ikwata for a long time.
Ikwata? That's your nickname now.
Ikwata? No, I'm not an Ikwata. From there, I attended the Morona Girls' School in Holy Child. See where I got my pious attribute.
Can you imagine?
Sweet 16. If you don't even have 17, never been kissed.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll open up our lines 020127709993, and the female line is 020146579190. Do I have any calls yet? Not yet. Okay, so we are taking it nice and easy the first day of the week. Maybe let's just use the excuse will be we are still in the holiday mode. So you have this anniversary coming up when?
Okay, so
let me let you run a quick commercial and
okay, so
what pay for it? What is it?
I agree.
No, don't run. But just
we have a black tie gala dinner coming up on Saturday, June 14th. This Saturday, and it's going to be at the Joel Ida.
No, you can't. You can't run this that way. That's all. That's all.
That's what I'm saying.
5
p.m.
No, you can't say that. You can't say that. You can't even say whether you are going to have to pay for it or not. But I think for those who are concerned, they will know what to do about the dinner. But I'd like to congratulate all Corona, both present and past. There's no past. Once a Corona.
Always
what house were you in? I think
Heron.
I think I was in Kingfisher.
I was in Heron. Greenhouse.
But so that again, you see, the houses were the same in all the schools.
All the schools,
and they're still the same till now.
They're still the same now.
Yes.
Who is this one now? Uncle Jimi. 15 years. What's that?
It's something else.
Oh, it's 15 years that Ichwa started his church. Okay, do we have any? We don't have any calls at the moment. Okay, 0201-277-0993 and 0201-465-7190. We also need to say that Corona has a secondary school. Is that right? How many do they have?
2 secondary schools.
Is it 2 now?
Yes. We have Corona Day Secondary School.
Yes.
Abijo. That's the one in Lekki. Then we have the Corona Secondary School in
Agbara.
Yes, Agbara, that's the boarding. But the one in Lekki is
day.
Really? I didn't know they had a day.
Yes, they have a day.
Where is Abijo?
Abijo is near...
is it mainland or island?
It's island. Near Agugi.
It's on Lekki.
After Agugi. After
Can you believe
Farah
that?
Park. You know that area?
I know that's Sogote those side.
Exactly.
Further down.
Yeah, that's it.
But it's a day school.
It's a day secondary.
How do you go day get to that kind of place?
Very
it's
tough.
Amazing.
Because of the traffic and all of that. But the whole idea was I was supposed to be serving
for the community.
You know, a lot of people have moved to that area.
Are you telling me?
Yes, exactly. So that was the whole idea. Those who wanted Are
you telling me?
So those who want to stay in Corona.
No, but I mean, you do find people who move. Some people are just fed up of living in the city with the noise, the dirt, the filth, the bad habits, and so on and so forth.
Particularly,
you want to move to greener pastures.
You are aware Corona Apapa has closed down, right? Corona
Are you kidding?
Apapa has closed down.
And gone for good.
Yes.
What happened to the building?
Oh, it's still there. So the college, there's a College of Education. Corona has the College of Education. So the College of Education now moved there just last year thereabout. They were in
Why did they close down?
They did that.
The traffic.
Students couldn't get there.
Imagine if that had been a commercial enterprise.
Yes. People couldn't get there.
Wow.
They just couldn't get there. Yes. And so the population of Apapa, dwindled.
Yes, Apapa DRE was almost wiped out completely.
Exactly.
Only the stubborn ones like my cousins.
Yes, that stay there.
Die hard.
Yes.
Die hard.
Yes.
I think we have a caller. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Uncle Jimmy.
Morning.
My name is Rita.
Morning, Madam Rita.
Good morning
How are
to
you?
your guest.
Yes.
Congratulations to Corona. The Corona Day School, Uncle Jimmy, I know it's not a village, Uncle Jimmy, please.
Who said it's a village now?
No, you say you want to be I know it. I don't just want to advertise Corona for them. But it's just close by, you get to the place before Green Spring. That's where it is.
Oh, which one is he saying now? That's the one at...
Abijo.
No, don't worry. Those who live there know it exists. We don't need you to explain. I didn't say. And because of what you said, I'm going to take out time to go pay them a visit and apologize. I didn't know Apapa had closed down. Part of the painful things.
Unfortunately,
do you know? It would be nice to know how many businesses have actually closed down. Because of that.
A lot.
I mean, it's sad.
Because I used to work with Chicken Republic.
Okay.
And they were Chicken Lick. And our head office started off in Apapa. But we had to go because there was nobody there after a while. All the offices and co that we were servicing were no longer there. So we moved to Victoria.
But the traffic is all cleared now. I think it's an accessible
now. But a lot
place
of people have left.
But the damage has been done.
Damage has been done. So even those who are there, like I said, some stubborn ones, they don't have young children to feed that kind of primary school.
And when I think of Papa, I worked in Apapa, I worked in Lever Brothers. My mother worked, she was head of, she was in charge of the quarters, and personally had a lot of quarters in Apapa. So as a young kid, I was very conversant with the Alafias and so on, all living in Apapa.
Yes, I know the Alafias. They went to Corona Apapa.
They went to Corona Apapa. Yes. Then, so all that was Parkland. I wonder what Parkland is like now.
Almost gone.
Almost gone.
But again, like you said, I was there recently and they started rebuilding and all of that. But when
that's true. A lot of people would have left.
Like a ghost town. It's like a ghost town.
Because you there was no escape route for you. You couldn't come in through the Western Avenue axis. Neither could you go through Tinkan and all through that.
My nephew went there and I used to go and pick him up. It was horrendous coming out. We eventually moved him to Ikoyi. It just didn't make sense.
Why didn't you buy a bike?
Oh, okay. Now you tell me. But the beauty of it, even though they've closed, just like Yaba, the alumni, Apapa alumni,
they are quite
maybe
strong,
because of that, they've really come together to okay, we might not have a physical school, but we are.
Do you think that school could make a rebound? No, it's late now. It's a college of education as it is.
Yes, it's a college of education.
Well, there lies the tragedy of this country. Some of the things that we do as a people and as a government. Imagine if Corona was owned by an individual. A few things have happened in this country that just like one day the UPN government came and said they were taking over all private schools. How did Corona escape that?
Well, I think again, like you said,
it was considered at that time. It was
how
considered.
Did they escape
I don't
that?
know. Perhaps again because they have a trust or governing council that's able to stand up for them, and
So the Catholics too stood up to Jack on at that time.
If not, places like
Holy Child that if he's making look as if
and said no, you can't do that to us.
The Catholic one is ahead. It was I think it's Monsignor now, Okoje.
Oh yes,
that was able to stand his ground.
Yes,
and of course with the old students.
The old students, I remember some of them going to the.
But can I ask you? Can I ask you something? Okay. Why do we, over time? Yes. Our leaders have this thing about destroying legacies. We don't put a premium on legacies, okay? We like, how would you let a whole school be wiped out?
Yes.
Just because you can't control the traffic and tankers going there.
It's really ridiculous. And it's a lot of schools that were there. Because there were a few, schools there. They don't have pupils.
Because they've moved out.
Well, they have to.
And when the demographics change and you've moved out and you have a building and nobody to come in and what's the source of funding?
Yes, because...
so eventually you have to close.
Yeah, and I'd like to go and see what Apapa GRA looks. I haven't been there for about 10 years.
Uncle Jimmy, when you go, please just take your photograph or just do a video. I'm telling you, it's a ghost town.
You don't know who they have area boys now.
No. Although, like I said, I saw a bit of construction going on.
I think we have a caller there. That. We have another caller. They have area boys now.
You
Hello, hello.
Uncle Jimmy, good morning, sir.
Morning, Oga. Who's calling?
Adetayo from Ikoyi. Good morning to your guest.
Yes, Mr. Adetayo.
I think Corona is a brand, not just a school.
Yeah.
And I thank the people involved that have been running it for years now. They should keep that legacy going. A lot of schools like that doesn't stand the test of time, but they did. And I think the brand will still continue. They should keep the legacy going.
Okay, thank you very much. We also would like to pay tribute to here Mrs. Omolayole, who I think she was the first Nigerian head of Corona. I'd like to be corrected. I'm not sure of my facts, but I hear that she played a pioneering role. Mrs. Omolayole and Mrs. Shashegbon.
Yes, Mrs. Shashegbon was in Victoria
Island. Yes. For keeping up, because let's be honest with ourselves, some people whose legacy like that is handed over to could have messed it up completely. So we would remember Mrs. Shashegbon. I remember Mrs. Shashegbon was in VI.
That's right, yeah.
We forgot Corona VI.
No, we didn't.
There's Ikoyi.
We did?
There's VI.
Who mentioned VI?
Apapa.
Nobody mentioned VI.
Okay,
We were getting there.
VI, we didn't forget you.
We didn't forget VI. And
Well-
if I might add,
Yes.
Yaba moved to Bagada. And my Bagada Aburos have told me, please do not forget to mention Bagada. So
That's my soul. That's
And we
my
have-
soul.
yes.
Yeah.
because they
Miss
feel
Shasha
it's
Egbon
just
still
Yaba,
alive, by the way.
Yaba. It's
So
Bagada
it will always be called Yaba, but it is in Bagada.
It's now in
It is in
Bagada.
exactly.
Yes.
Do you understand?
So we
So
have
it
mentioned
is
it.
it is Corona School Yaba. The address is so and so number this to
Yaba.
this in Bagada.
Yes. But the interesting thing is, again, I keep saying, people say, oh, Yaba and Bagada are the same. They are the same. Yes, they are the same. But not forgetting that Yaba, those of us who graduated in Yaba, did not really connect with Bagada. We don't know much about Bagada.
But the link.
But the link is there.
Look,
We
how many
are
people
one.
I still connect with
Ebute Meta.
With Ebute.
Exactly.
I'm the last man
Those are the
standing.
people that you know. I'm the
I'm the last man standing.
Yes. But there was VI.
But
There was
I think
Mrs. Shasha Egbon is kicking.
Yes.
Well, alive and well. So we're
She
saying
is.
hello to her. Yes. She's still
That's
alive and well.
fantastic.
That's
Quite
the next
old,
thing I was going
elderly.
to say. We do have some headmistresses, pioneering headmistresses who are still alive.
Yes.
Oh,
Mrs.
would
Shasha
it have
Egbon
been
VI,
nice to bring them
Mrs.
here?
George for Yaba, she is still very much alive.
No.
She
Yes.
sent us a message.
Where is she?
She's in England. She moved back to
Wow.
England. Yes.
That's my headmistress.
That's
Oh,
my
wow.
headmistress too.
Oh, okay,
And she
okay.
has sent us a message that we're going to play on that day.
To all,
Wow.
All,
her
all her children.
Did you
in
have a
Yaba.
boyfriend when you were in Corona?
She will not say.
Down. Because
Okay.
I had.
Men usually say their own. We had crushes on people.
We had crushes.
But let me just say
Who did you have a crush
No,
on?
I didn't have a crush. But let me just say my own.
You did.
With Uncle Jimmy. My best friend then was James Abili, and he's still James Abili.
And
he
you
lives
still
in
have a
the-
crush on him?
And he lives in. No, he's married now, and we
That is
we are
why it
best
doesn't mean you
friends.
go to have a crush on him.
And we actually celebrate our birthdays. We're both April 28th. So
okay.
always
Who was
celebrating
your
our birthday
crush?
together.
I have to share mine. This is very interesting. This was just recently. I didn't even know it was a crush.
What did you think it was? You thought it was love.
Hold on what it was. Let me explain. So there's two boys that attended Corona Yaba.
Yeah.
They both moved on to King's College. One is Dr. Kweku. Maybe I shouldn't say it on it.
Say easy, yeah.
The other one, unfortunately, has passed on, Kwashi Kono. Both very close. And so they just brought it up on the group. Kweku brought it up on the group that, one Nike wrote me a letter saying that Kwashi came to her first in Form 1. So Kweku can no longer, I guess Kweku came on to ask me something that I said no because Kwashi had already asked me. And I'm like, at what age?
I can do
10,
it.
11?
When I was in Corona, I had, trust me, I had. Sheriff, will you please can you take a break? I had a crush on an Indian. I had an Indian classmate, Azra Bhatti.
Wow.
I haven't forgotten her name till today.
Wow.
And I don't know where she is. One of the days when you are kind of feeling lazy, you check Facebook and see if I can come back. No, but I had a crush. I had a crush on Azra Bhatti.
It's funny,
back then. But it was innocent. It just,
of course.
It didn't make anything.
I met somebody. He went to Corona VI, and he said he cannot remember anybody. The only person he can remember is the lady he had a crush on called Hadiza. That's the only thing he remembers about Victoria Island.
I'd also like to pay tribute to a classmate of mine, Nick Adebayo. Nick Adebayo, yes, we're in class together, but we called her Maggie. And today we're very good. We're always excited when we see each other. We're very good friends. I didn't have a crush on her.
Okay.
But
she's listening.
She's probably listening. Okay. Do we have anybody who wants to join us? 9:51, we got to go. Time's up. I was enjoying myself.
Yes.
Thank you
Same
very
here.
much. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having us.
I wish Corona another 70 years.
Amen.
So when they turn 140, I hope I'm still around to attend.
Amen.
We're
looking forward to seeing you on Saturday.
Yes,
Saturday
I'll
for sure.
yes.
Saturday,
I thought it
14th
was
of
Friday.
June.
I'll show up on Saturday.
Yes.
That's where we'll end the show for today.
And you can wear anything you want.
Because I'm not wearing a
yes,
suit.
Yes, you said you're not wearing a suit, so please, you're traditional.
I'm not wearing a suit.
It is okay, uncle.
I'm not wearing a bow tie.
We said full traditional or English.
No,
your
English.
choice.
Let me repeat it again. I'm not wearing a suit. Can you imagine me in a suit with a bow tie? I look like a playboy.
So please come traditional.
Okay, we got to go. Thank you very much. That's why we'll end our show for today. I've been talking to two fellow Corona people, and we just decided, in the spirit of holiday, a good excuse to have fun and remember Corona for 70 years. We wish them another 70 years. Tomorrow, 9 o'clock, will be Dear Bumi. And on that note, ladies, thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
What's Up Lagos comes up next, so don't go away.
Thank you.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's